Hey guys, this is Lil again with another video about Raid Shadow Legends. Today I wanted to talk to you about clan boss and clan boss speed tuning. Specifically, I want to get into troubleshooting because if you're anything like me and you enjoy speed tuning and you hang out on Discord talking about clan boss, then inevitably you get questions about why my speed tune doesn't work. I sometimes hang out in Deadwood Jedi's Discord and there's loads of guys there helping out and helping people, and it's always the same process that you go through to troubleshoot someone's speed tune and why that's not working. So I wanted to show you what I, as someone who troubleshoots speed tunes for people, do so that you can troubleshoot your own speed tune. So I'm on Deadwood's site here and I'm going to run through some clan boss basics first. Because they will just help a bit when we're troubleshooting. I've come to Ninja Helicath because this is my speed tune on Deadwood's site. I also, like I mentioned last time, also worked on the 3-for-1 Ninja and the Fu Myth with the Deadwood guys because they helped on some of the fine tuning on getting the speeds right for that. So thank you guys. The guys there are brilliant, so can't say enough good things about them. So, some clan boss basics. I'll try and figure out how to do some timestamps so that the people who just want to go straight to troubleshooting can do that. But I wanted to go over because, again, I find a lot of, I run 2 accounts, and on one of my, on my alt account, which is in just my old clan, I still knock around with those guys, I get a lot of questions from people who just, don't know what speed tuning is, don't know where to start. So, really basics, yeah. Up until brutal, you're probably just throwing in a load of champs who you've got 6-starred to get 1 or 2 keys in just to hit the max chest. That's absolutely fine. Once you start hitting Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, then you start needing an actual speed tune. The 2 options are you either go with a traditional team, which is you build up a lot of protection and defense and you last longer into the fight to get your damage in, or you build an unkillable team, which is what most people do as soon as you have one of the champs, or 2 of the champs, or however many champs that team takes. Mainly because it's easier, it's much less gear intensive. So a speed tune just needs your champs at the right speed and to use their skills at the right times. I guess that's a good point to talk about what exactly a speed tune is. So a speed tune is your team running at specific speeds to make sure that they use their skills at exactly the same time every time. So the clan boss, and I'll jump over to here you go, here is, in fact, let's just start blank one. So this is Deadwood Jedi's clan boss calculator, okay? And you can see we've got no champs in here, and the clan boss does the same thing over and over again. He does AoE 1, AoE 2, stun. AoE 1, AoE 2, stun. AoE 1, AoE 2, stun. He cycles round and round, and each of those is called a cycle. That's how people talk about it. So what you want is, you want to, if you're in an unkillable team, right before he does his AoE, you want your unkillable champ to make your team unkillable, or make your team unkillable here, and then that lasts all the way through until the stun. But so for champs on a 3-turn cooldown, that's relatively easy to get them to the right speed. For champs on a 4-turn cooldown, you need them to run faster. Okay, so I should have prepared and had some teams in here. So the next thing is kind of ratios. Okay, so if you've got a team, so if I put some champs in here going at 174, I'll just put them all around that. There we go. Okay, so on Deadwood's calculator here, it's got the difficulties at the top because the clan boss's speed changes according to the difficulty. So I just put in some champs all around the 170 mark. That is giving me a speed tune, and it's a really basic speed tune. You can see every champion here is going, so champ 4, 3, 2, 1. If I'd ordered them in the right speeds, then that probably would have been sensible, starting with the lowest. Everyone's doing their skills at exactly the same time. Yeah, champ 4, champ 4, champ 4, champ 3, champ 3, champ 3, champ 0, champ 0, champ 0. Now, if you've got someone on a 3-turn cooldown, they're going to do the same skill, yeah, every single time. So if I put this, which was this champ 0, now has a 3-turn cooldown skill on the A2, I'm going to give it a cool little emoji. There you go, it's his lightning skill. Right. And you can see he's going to use that. He's going to use that lightning skill right here every single time. The other thing in here, which you can, so when you plug in a champ here, so if let's pick a champ, let's pick Frozen Banshee because she's nice and straightforward. Okay. It doesn't help that I customized her. There we go. So now we can see we've got Frozen Banshee in here. Now, what I want is for Frozen Banshee to use her A3 right here, and then she's got it up for the right times, because then she might get a counter-attack here, and she'll get another attack here. Whereas she won't get a counter-attack on the stun if she's not the stun target. So I would put in a delay here. And depending on the A3, sorry. And you can see that that moves the A3 where she's going to use it. So then let's take an example of like a Helicath team, where Helicath has an Unkillable, but it's on a 4-turn cooldown. So you need him to run, you need him to take 4 turns every time for every cycle of the clan boss. So that when it comes back around to this AoE 1, Helicath has his A1 his A3 available. I think we had Helicath open somewhere, didn't we? Yeah. So you can see right here, Helicath is going 4 times. At the start and at the end of every single AoE 1. The start of every cycle. That way he's putting his block buffs, his block damage up right before AoE 1. And then everyone else is running on a 1-to-1 ratio. So everyone else is just taking 1 turn for every turn that he takes. And that means that everyone keeps their block buffs, their block damage. For AoE 2, and then for the stun, you actually just tank the stun. Yeah. Again, depends on your team. This example that I have is just tanking the stun, which means you're losing 1 DPS's turn. Yeah. So if I planned for Frozen Banshee to be the stun target, then she would just lose her turn here. I could replace Frozen Banshee with someone to cleanse it or someone to block it. Actually, sorry, this team has Tatora in it, doesn't it? So it's blocking it. But you get the idea, okay? So that's ratios whenever someone talks about that. So the basic is 1-to-1. Your team take 1 attack of the clan boss for every time that the clan boss has a turn. 4-to-3 is actually fitting people with 4-turn cooldowns into your normal cycle, and then you start getting into the faster teams, yeah? The 3-to-2, which you don't see very much, the 2-for-1, 2-to-1, or the 3-to-1. The more attacks you get on the clan boss, the more damage you're going to do. Yeah. So, let me go back, take a step back, because we went a bit deep dive. So, start with finding a speed tune. Yeah, Deadwood Jedi has all the speed tunes, yeah, and there's even more on his Discord, if I'm honest with you. If you want a really weird, like, no one's ever going to use this, but I've got these champs kind of scenario. Come here, you can come down the speed tune list, you can look for specific champs that you've got. If you actually click on speed tunes, that actually gives you some more advanced filtering options. This is amazing, yeah. Do you care if it's a 1 key or a 2 key? Do you care if it's all affinities? How difficult is it to build? Like, are the speeds 300 speed and you're never going to get your Demether to 300 speed? And then you've got some more options for filtering by champs. You can do that. Now, what I have, personally, is an exact copy of, and Deadwood did a video on this, so shout out to him, I'll try and link it. He did his top 5 clan boss teams, and which I agreed with. And so what I did for my clan was I pulled out those top 5 speed tunes and then I put them in our Discord with some more info about them. So can they one key? How difficult are they to build? What champs do they need? So that the guys in my Discord, instead of just posting their rosters, they can go and open that and they can take a look at, okay, look down this list. Do you have a tower? Do you have a warcaster? Because depending on the champs that you've got, depends on the type of team you can make. When you know the key champs, it's really easy to spot those and know which teams they go into. So I just made a little table for them to take a look at, to try and sort of find their own teams. But you can absolutely come here and take a look. I'll not bring the table up. I'll save you my table. If you guys want to see it, then let me know below and I'll find a way to link it so that you guys can take a look at it as well. Okay, sorry, my phone's turned off. So we've been over the calculator, that's all fine. Now, what I wanted to talk on now is actually troubleshooting. Okay, so the guys who have stuck it out for this, thank you. If you skipped straight ahead, I do not blame you because I can ramble, so apologies. So troubleshooting, right? Okay, so I'm going to take one of my guys from my clan on Discord. I know what his problem is from how he described it to me, but I'm going to walk you through the process. So he said to me, my clan boss tune isn't working. Yeah, he wanted a clan boss tune. Here's my roster. Tell me what I can build. I go, you can build the #1 clan boss team as far as I'm concerned, which is Fu Myth. It's easiest, fastest, full auto, all affinities, but he was getting random failures after he built it. But he was only getting random failures on Spirit, which is what meant that I knew what the problem was. But to troubleshoot that, okay, so he sent me all of his champs. So what I would then do, and what I did do, is I came to Deadwood site, I opened up Fu Myth, Fu Myth. I checked all of his speeds, but I also checked his speeds in the calculator. Yeah, so I opened this up and I went, okay, his Demether, from the screenshot that he sent me, his Demether is wearing 2 pieces of speed and 1 piece of perception, and she is running at 291. So then I come back here and I go, I need 291 speed and I need 2 speed, 1 perception. Okay, and the other question that I need to know is what masteries does she have? So if I scroll down, he also handily sent me masteries. She does not have Law of Steel, which are the things we care about. Okay. So again, here in the speeds, 291, 2 speed sets, 1 perception set, and she doesn't have Law of Steel. And then I do exactly the same with all of the other champs. So I go through and I look at, okay, what is the speed on Heiress and what sets has she got? She's got 3 speed sets and she's got 261 speed. And does she have Law of Steel? Yes, she does. Okay, so I just go, I go back here, 261, she had 3 speed sets, and she had Law of Steel. And you can see, as I'm doing this, this number at the bottom here, true speed is changing, and that's why you need to put in all of this. And this is where the problem with this tune was. The Seeker speed and his DPS speed weren't quite right. Yeah, there's an interdependency there between the DPS and Seeker, the speeds that they need to be. It's mentioned right here in the tune, in the details of the tune. Notes for Spirit Affinity. Yeah, Heiress must be faster than 282. So if we go back, we can see Heiress is faster than 282 true speed. And similarly here, we actually get into a calculation, which is the spreadsheet, apologies, that I flashed up, which is, okay, the DPS must be slower than Seeker's true speed times this lovely calculation here, which in the tune that we were looking at, he was not, and that's why he was getting fails on Spirit. Yeah, so you plug all of this in, and that will give you, and what you want to see is you want to see none of this changing. Yeah, so you can see here that it looks it's very aesthetically pleasing. You can see everything happening at the same time across the whole cycle of the speed tune. Yeah, Ares is doing her A2 at the top of every turn. Dimithra is doing her A3 at the bottom of every turn. That's exactly what a Myth Foo or a Myth Air speed tune should look like. That is absolutely perfect. So the other thing is delays. Yeah, so has someone got the delays wrong? So if I change one of these, so if I take out the delay on Seeker using his A2, the whole speed tune falls apart, for example. The same with Dimithra. If I forget to delay her A2, or if I add too much delay to her A3, that throws the tune out. So there's also that setup, which used to be a bit more written up. You know, start with this, then this. Now it tends to be, you know, just within the actual calculator, where you see, okay, look, I need to delay Seeker's A2 by 1 turn. The way that you do that is in the team setup, you would go open with the A1, and then you've just delayed Seeker using his A2 by 1 turn, for example. Okay, masteries. So let me bring up the other thing that can cause, so if it's random failures, so, okay, usually there's an affinity problem, the wrong person took a stun. In this tune, it doesn't matter who takes the stun, as long as it's not Ares, because Ares will cleanse it every time. Obviously, to avoid taking the stun, you want to take Steadfast Mastery, because the clan boss sees that as an extra buff and will avoid it. I will not go into clan boss stun targeting. I can, but typically he tries to attack anyone he thinks he can kill. He avoids people who are unkillable with no health, but will attack people who have unkillable with a certain percentage of health. It's about 16% if I remember rightly. But he will attack on affinity mainly, so he'll ignore your steadfast. If you've got a weak affinity, that's why Foo Myth runs Fushan, because he's got a speed lead and he's force affinity, which means he would take the stun on a spirit affinity clan boss instead of Ares taking the stun, because Ares cannot cleanse herself. Okay, so masteries are the other thing that cause random failures, because if you get a low percent chance on, let's say, Cycle of Magic to reset one of your cooldowns or give you some turn meter, that's going to put you out of sync. So Deadwood has this lovely image, which I just brought up on Discord, just to illustrate this. Avoid anything with a red cross. And there are more notes here, yeah, so like Law of Steel, you can take it, but you need to put it into the calculator because it changes your champ's actual speeds by a percentage, which gives you a decimal increase in your speed. Cycle of Magic and Lasting Gifts, avoid them, because you're probably going to cause yourself to come out of sync, etc. There you go, take a photo of that. Okay, and honestly, that's actually everything that I wanted to go over in clan boss speed tuning troubleshooting. Like I say, the most common problems are your speeds are wrong, or your true speeds are wrong. Once you plug in your gear sets and your masteries into the calculator, you've got your delays wrong. I find a lot of people don't sort of understand delays in speed tunes when they just sort of come to the site and look at them. And the sort of setup. Maybe Deadwood could start adding like a picture of the team setup to the actual write-up of these. Yeah, or it's a mastery. They're typically, you know, if the tune has any specific notes, you know, that's where if you've done all of those things, then it's time to, yeah, like in the case that I was looking at, crack out a spreadsheet and actually just run those calculations to make sure you're good. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this one. Do me a favour and give me a like, because I really appreciate it, and hit subscribe. I'm trying to do one video a week on different topics. I think I'm next going to do probably gear cleansing and gear cleansing rules, because I use RSL Helper a lot for gear cleansing and I think it's really useful. I think the rules are universal, but I didn't like the RSL Helper rule setup. I think at one point my rules were 150 or 170 odd lines. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. I'm Lil, and I'll see you in the next one.